So, yeah, it was a good win. We found a way to get the W. And, you know, it was not pretty. You got to give Central Florida credit. But you know, we got the W. That's the bottom line. So we found a way to get the win. I didn't think we were real sharp in some things, and there's nothing about a trap game or anything like that. Championship teams got to play at a championship level every time you step on the floor. And I felt our energy was fine. It wasn't our energy. It was just I didn't think some of our execution in some areas we were real good, and obviously they kicked our butt on the glass. That was a big thing, and we got to have. You know, Shaq, even though he played well offensively, he can't. We got to have more, and he did a good job defensively, guarding ball screens. He didn't do a good job on the glass. We need him to be better on the defensive end on the glass. He's vital for us. We need Chris Crawford to have more defensive rebounds. He's a guy that can be a great defensive rebounder. That's important for us. You know, so we need him to be better in that. I thought David Pelham came in and gave us good minutes. Now, Chris Crawford did hit a couple big threes for us that stretched the game. That was big. But David Pelham came through for us, you know, with some 50-50 balls. That was very, very important off those free throw line box outs. And then and Joe had a great stat line, 18, 5, and 5. So we were you know, very happy to get the win. You know, Donnie Jones is, you know, one of my great friends of all time, and they're just you know, they're better than their record, and they're well coached, and you know, they played well, and you got to give them a lot of credit.
Coach, just talk about Joe's performance there in the last 12 minutes and how he just seems to bring it when you guys need it most.
Yeah, I was proud of Joe. He came through for us. You know, he made some free throws down the stretch, but he made some buckets. He got some defensive stops. I mean, that dive on the floor, I was so proud of him. He wouldn't have done that his freshman or sophomore year. Would never have. Am I right? For you guys, he would never have dove on the ball like that. He dove head first. That's how far Joe Jackson's come. I love that guy. I mean, he dove head first. That's why we win the game, because of play like that, you know. And I'm telling you, freshman, sophomore year, I don't think he would have done that. And I shouldn't say his parts of his freshman year he didn't do that, and some parts of his sophomore year didn't do that. He now does that all the time because he understands 50-50 balls, and that's how far he's come. And I'm just so dang proud of him. I love the kid dearly. Love the young man dearly.
Is that just a maturity thing?
Just a maturity. It's an understanding. It's a teaching. It's just knowing that, okay, this is important to coach, and this is important for us to win the game. And he dove head first, put his body out there to get the ball. That's how important that was.
Was the job on Sykes defensively about what you'd hope for after that first game?
Yeah, I mean, Sykes is a good player, John. I mean, and we did a better job. He got a lot of points off the offensive rebounds, but I thought we made it tough on him. We forced him to 7 turnovers. Now, you know, what really hurt us is they just kicked our butt on the offensive glass. I mean, they had 19 offensive rebounds and 24 second chance points. I mean, when we played there in Orlando, they had 19 second chance points. So, but we did a much better job on Sykes. He's a really, really good player. He's going to make money off the game. You know, I don't know if, again, I've never been in the NBA, so I don't know, you know, that's up for the NBA experts to decide that, but he will make money off the game, you know, playing professional basketball.
Josh, for a second straight game, Jaren's doesn't play a lot down the stretch. Two-part question. Number one, is he maybe trying to do too much, which is costing him? And number two, as the coach, how do you make sure he stays positive and because you're going to need him down the stretch?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mike, you know, Jaren has come a long way. Man, he's come a long way in life. The hardest thing for anyone to do is to change. And he's changed in a lot of areas in his life, and I'm so proud of him for that. And he's made a difference with many people too in the community. So I love him dearly for that. He's on track to graduate. He's just been struggling a little bit as of late, and I think he's trying to maybe put a square in a circle at times offensively. But you know what? If you look at his stat numbers, he's a very good assist guy. He's really, really good when he just lets it come to him. Sometimes, like I said, he tries to force it. He tries to put a square into a circle or a circle into a square, and you know, that's just part of it. And he'll get through it. It's just a little bit of a slump right now, but we're gonna need him. He'll get through it. For us to do what we want to do, we're going to need him to be at a high level. And, you know, this is just part of it where we just got to get him out of it, and he'll get out of it.
How do you get him out of it?
Well, I think we'll get out of it. I'm a positive guy, but I'm also an honest guy, and so I've been very honest on what do you got to do. Here's what you got to do if you want to get out of it, and it's on him now to do that. He'll get out of it. He understands. He doesn't like sitting, and we need him to play, but you got to get the job done to play, and he knows that. He's a man about it. He doesn't point fingers, he's not a woe is me guy at all. Doesn't blame people. Doesn't blame me. He just wants to, he knows I got to produce, meaning he's got to produce. He recognizes that. I appreciate that about him.
Did you sense that little scrum out there was going to escalate? Is that why you went out? And then what happened with Dom there? He wasn't on the bench at the end of the game.
Yeah, with the thing at the half court, yeah, that's why I went out there, just because I thought everyone was just, and just in this day and age, I know people have gotten on me about running out on the court all in the years past, but we haven't had any incident. It's important to me. My president, my athletic director, my deputy AD, they don't want any melee or anything, and I don't care what anyone says. In the heat of the moment, with the energy filled, guys can, in basketball, it's such an intense game, elbow here, a push there, and things can escalate. And it happened in the Xavier Cincinnati. It's happened, so we can't say it doesn't happen. So it's my responsibility as the head coach to make sure things get stopped, people are moved away, and that's my, my bosses expect that. They don't want anything. Regarding Dom, he will be suspended indefinitely until I decide to bring him back. I just did, no one's bigger than the program. And that's just the bottom line. So, I had to, I did not like some of his language that he used, and I will not allow guys to use language that's not acceptable, because I don't use it. And if you're going to use that, you can go use it in the locker room. You're not going to use it on my bench. So I said, see ya. And he'll be suspended indefinitely. He definitely won't travel to UConn. And then and let me say this, Dominique Woodson has come a long way. Again, he's made so many great strides. He's a wonderful young man. He's made the 3-0 club. He's a wonderful, wonderful young man, and I love him dearly. And he's going to be a great player for us. But these are just, parts of things that he's got to learn. And these are things, as I've said, that the hardest thing for someone to do is change. And he's changed for the good. It's just, it's going to take a little time. So he will be suspended indefinitely until I decide that he's learned his lesson to come back. And what he did was just, I don't curse, and I don't want guys on the bench cursing. We got young ladies behind our bench. We got fans behind our bench, so he's going to need to watch his mouth. And on my bench, I don't want cursing.
Was that addressed at any certain individual, or just in general he was cussing?
No, it was just in general. I mean, it was just in general. It was something general. I think he was making some comments generally, just said some words that I did not think was appropriate. So I sent him to the locker room, and he will be suspended indefinitely. He will not play he will not travel with us to UConn, and he just has to learn to control his words.
All right, you alluded to the struggles on the boards, which was apparent. But during the one possession that turned into 6 points, because you got 2 offensive rebounds off the missed free throws, you got 2 offensive boards during that sequence, about 4.5 minutes to go, which really changed the game. Can you talk about that sequence?
Yeah, well, we came up with some big 50-50 balls, and I think David Pelham was huge for us. And Austin Nichols, by the way, did not play a lot. He was on IV. He had the flu this morning, or food poison, one or the other, and he was on IV. I mean, he didn't even shoot around. He wasn't even out there. He was on IV. So just for him to even play a couple minutes, it was a bonus. And Michael Dixon was IV'd up yesterday. He had food poison too, so he didn't practice, and he was on an IV all day yesterday. He called me at 2:30 in the morning, said, "Coach, I'm sicker than a dog. Something I ate, I don't know what." So we called the trainer. Trainer went over and said, "Yeah, he's got some severe food poisoning." So this was on Monday, Tuesday. He was out. So, so anyway, but David Pelham came through for us big with some 50-50 balls.
Coach, obviously you want to have big leads at the end of games, but you pull away from UCF tonight. You win late against Gonzaga. How much faith do you have in your team executing late?
Well, we've done a good job. I mean, look, we had 18 assists on 27 made field goals. We're 4th in the country in assists. Last year we were 4th in the country in assists. We have over 60% of our made field goals assisted. Last year, over 60% of our made field goals assisted. The year before that, over 60% of our made field goals assisted. My first year, over 60%. I think it was only the second year I didn't have over 60%. And that's the only thing I tell people. You know, people kind of get on us about that. You know, we play wild. We are a very unselfish team. We move the ball, and we play the right way for the majority of times. And the assists speak for themselves. So, you know, we did not execute late in the game today, and that's where some of the things where I felt we weren't sharp. We didn't do a good job, and some of the things late on some little things, but that's where I felt that we weren't as sharp as we needed to be. But, hey, we've got to get through that. It will give us an opportunity that we won the game. We can learn from it. We'll get better about it and move forward from that.
You guys come back against Gonzaga to win, obviously. Yep. And there was a close game tonight, and I think double digits down the stretch was the lead. So, I mean, you guys are playing well late.
We came up with some big plays. Joe's, you know, David Pelham's 50-50 balls on the free throw line. Joe's dive head first for the ball. Chris Crawford hits a big three. Michael Dixon came up big for us in some areas. So those allowed us to get the win. Those are winning plays, and you got to make winning plays to win the game.
Coach, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, chilling, man. So Pelham, you keep talking about this guy. 16 minutes tonight. It's got to be good to get him back out there. He's been battling this tendonitis, but he's a glue guy. For you,
well, Pelham told me today, he says, Coach, I'm going to have to practice every day. Even if my knee hurts, I'm going to practice because my rhythm and my conditioning. He says, when I went to Gonzaga, he says, Coach, I was so winded and I felt I was playing below the rim. He says, from now on, I'm practicing. I don't care how bad it hurts my knee. I don't care what you and the doctor say. I'm practicing every day. So I said, it's on you. It's your body.
Next question. Anybody? How much do you look forward to the challenge on Saturday?
Yeah, no, UConn's a great team. Obviously, we play them. This is a high-level game at their spot. Great, you know, great players, great coach. You know, we're going to have to bring our A game, and you know, we'll make some adjustments from what we did last time, maybe. But bottom line is, we got to make some shots and hope they don't.
Josh, you said earlier in the year when you lose one at home, you got to get one back, and so this is an opportunity Saturday. How much of that, as you start winding down to the last 7 games of the season, does that become for Saturday to get one back since they took one from you?
Well, I don't think it's not about revenge. We just got to. It's the next game on the schedule. We got to try to win. We got to get as many wins as we can get, and we're at 19-5. We got strong numbers. We got to try to get as many wins as we can get. And we're at 7 regular season games left. Let's just try to get as many as we can get.